Welcome friends for the revision module of Chapter 1, the Earth our Habitat, Geography, Class 6. We have already discussed about the Earth in the solar system in our previous module. We are again here to discuss more about and to revise the different topics like celestial bodies, stars, constellations, the solar system, pole star, planets, asteroids, meteoroids, and at last some fun activity for you. So all these topics again we will revise, and I'll be asking some questions. So watch this module carefully. We have already learned that the whole sky is filled with tiny objects. Some are bright, others are dim. So you can say that the sun shines during the day and sets in the evening. Gradually it becomes dark in the night. The sky is dotted with numerous bodies that shine and twinkle. Why is the sun visible only during the day, while at night we see numerous dots of light? So this is a question. Why at night we see numerous dots of light? Why do stars twinkle? Light is distorted as it passes through the Earth's atmosphere, making stars twinkle, and this makes the light appear to flicker. Stars are huge balls of burning gases that are scattered throughout the sky. The coolest stars are red and dim, while the hottest stars give off blue-white light. So the sun, the moon, and all the shining objects which we see in the sky are called heavenly or celestial bodies. And you can see the most common, the full moon, only one in about a month's time. It's full moon night or Purnima. A fortnight later you can see it all, it's a new moon night, Amavasya. So here are some phases of the moon. Look carefully. You can see the full moon, half part of the moon, and very less part of the moon seen, and other phases. So how does this happen? Now, you know that the natural satellites of planets are known as moons. Our moon is the only natural satellite of the Earth which revolves around the Earth. The moon is a barren, airless cratered ball lying at a mean distance of 3,84,392 kilometers from the Earth and moving around the Earth in about 27.3 days. Its diameter is about 3,480 kilometers, and the reflected light of the sun from the moon reaches the Earth's surface in about 1.3 seconds. Life is not possible on the moon due to the absence of atmosphere. And moisture. Its orbit is elliptical. It rotates on its axis in the same period of time as it takes to travel around the Earth, so that the same face is always turned towards the Earth. The changing shapes of the moon are known as phases of the moon. So these changing shapes of the moons are known as phases of the moon. There are different phases of the moon, but new moon and the full moon are the most common phases of. Look at the picture. A very common feature which you can see during the night. A full moon, which is also known as Purnima. And the new moon, the Amavasya. So the moon appears in the sky in different shapes. When the moon is almost directly between the earth and the sun, we cannot see the moon at all, because the side of the moon facing us does not receive sunlight. And this is called Amavasya. So what is Amavasya? Because the side of the moon facing us does not receive sunlight. This side of the moon facing to us does not receive any light. So it appears dark. This is called the new moon or Amavasya. A week later, the half moon of the first quarter phases occur. Look at the picture carefully. Almost a fortnight later, the moon looks like a round disk. It is now called the full moon or Purnima. Look at the picture carefully. This is a Purnima. It happens once in a month. The entire side of the moon facing the earth is lit up at this time. Soon the lit area reduces half a circle, which is known as the last quarter phase. So this was about the moon and some more interesting facts I would like to discuss with you about the surface of the moon. You know that the moon is the only celestial body that humans have landed on. Neil Armstrong, an American astronaut from NASA. NASA is your National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Became the first man to land on the moon on 25 July 1969. The moon's surface is made up of rocks, and there is no soil. Mountain peaks, plains and craters are found on the surface of the moon. And these rugged surfaces do not let the sunlight fall uniformly. That is why when we look at the moon, we see some dark spots. You must have seen it during the night when the full moon is there. So you will see some dark spots. In this picture also you can see the dark spots over here. Since there is no air or water on the moon, no life exists there. There are only rocks and dust on the moon. The days are very hot and the nights are extremely cold. Even the gravity on the moon is 1/6 of the Earth. You can see. You must have seen in the picture, in the videos, that the gravity on the moon is 1/6 of the Earth's surface. You must have seen the astronauts jumping, flying from one place to another place. So this was about the moon and its different phases. Now let us discuss about celestial bodies. So the sun, the moon and all the shiny objects which we see in the night sky are called heavenly or celestial bodies. We have learned earlier about the celestial bodies. You know more about it. So these bodies of sun, moon and all the shiny objects which we see in the sky are called heavenly or celestial bodies. The vast space containing all the celestial bodies is called the universe. These celestial bodies are found in group of clusters. Some of them are very hot and big. They are made of gases. They have their own heat and lights. These celestial bodies are called stars. The sun is a star, you can see. Now here are also a good example. Can you try to name it, the celestial bodies? Look at the picture carefully and try to observe different celestial bodies. You can see the different planets, asteroids, meteors, shooting stars, comets. So all these are celestial bodies. So stars we was discussing. Stars, these are heavenly bodies that shine by producing their own light. They also produce a lot of heat. There are millions of stars in space, but the closest star to the Earth is the Sun. So this is your Sun, which is closest to planet Earth. The distance in space which are very vast are measured in light years. So distance space is measured in light years. The distance traveled by light in 1 year is called a light year. This measure is used as sunlight travels very fast, covering a lot of distance at a speed of 3 lakh km per second. It takes about 8 minutes for sunlight to reach the Earth. So stars are found in groups of clusters, which are called galaxies. We will be learning more about galaxies. So here is a picture in front of you of the galaxy. Try to identify Look carefully and try to name this galaxy. You will get the answer at the end of this module. Till that time, you try. What is the name of this galaxy? Our sun belongs to this galaxy. So while watching the night sky, you may notice various patterns formed by different groups of stars. So during the night, if you watch the sky, you will find different patterns of the stars. And these patterns are called constellations. Look at the picture carefully. You will find different constellations. So stars clustered together, groups or constellations with recognizable shape, like very common is your Scorpio, the Scorpion, the Cygnus, the Swan. No one really knows how the sun and the planets were formed. Based on the best available sources, our universe existed about 13.7 billion years ago. Scientists think that a nebula broke up into several areas of gas which collapsed under gravity to form planets. So this is how the formation of different planets took place. So try to identify this constellation in front of you, which is a group of millions of stars. In the previous module, we discussed about the pole star. You know, in ancient times, people used to determine direction during the night with the help of stars. The North Star indicates the north direction. It is also called the pole star. Look at the picture, how you can identify the pole star. So you can see the 7 stars over here. And the last 2 stars, when you make a straight angle, watch directly, and a straight line if you make, it points towards the brightest star. That is your North Star. Look at the image. This is your brightest star. Now try to name the star seen in the picture. Again, a question for you. So let us now discuss about the planets. So some celestial bodies do not have their own heat and light. They are lit by the light of stars. Such bodies are called planets. We have discussed that the word planet comes from the Greek word planetai, which means wanderers. There are 8 planets in our solar system in order of the distance from the Sun. So here we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So it becomes difficult for you to remember the sequence of the planet. So here is a simple example in front of you, how in form of a sentence. My very efficient mother just served hazelnuts. So the first letter stands for the different planets. Like M of my is your Mercury. Try to name the other planets with the help of the first word of these letters. The solar system now. You know that the solar system consists of the Sun, the 8 planets and their satellites, and thousands of other small bodies. The 4 planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, that are the nearest to the Sun are called inner planets. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune are outer planets. So look at the image carefully. The inner planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. Nearest to the Sun, they are nearest to the Sun, so they are known as the inner planet. While Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune are outer planets. They are far from the Sun, so they are outer planets. So now you know the difference between the inner planets and outer planets. Inner planet is your Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. And Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune are your outer planets. So the Sun, 8 planets, satellites and some other celestial bodies known as asteroids and meteoroids form the solar system. We often call it a solar family with the Sun as its head. So solar system is, the Sun is the head of the family, so we call it as a solar system. Here is the Sun of the family, planets family, you can say. So here are some other interesting facts related to the planets. Mercury, the Roman god of merchants and travelers, another name of this planet. Venus, the Roman goddesses of love. Mars, the Roman god of war. Jupiter, the king of Roman gods. Saturn, the Roman god of seeds and sowing. Uranus, the Greek and Roman god of the sky. Neptune, the Roman god of the sea. So this was some interesting facts for you to know more about these planets. Earlier people named these planets with different names. So the 4 inner planets are quite small and orbit close to the Sun. They are small. You can have a look of the size of these planets. Quite small. And they orbit close to the Sun. All are solid and rocky and have an atmosphere. So they have some atmosphere also. Whereas these outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, are composed mostly of frozen gases. Also, they are very large and comparatively light. They are large as they are composed of gases, so they are light. So now let us discuss one by one more about these planets. First is your Mercury. Significant facts of these is nearest to the Sun, hottest and smallest planet, and is the smallest planet in the solar system. Hottest planet because of the closest planets to the Sun. The Messenger was the first spacecraft to orbit Mercury. The Mariner 10 was the first spacecraft to land on Mercury. So try to find out more about this planet Mercury. Let us move to Venus. You know, the brightest planet in the sky. You know that Venus is called the morning star also. When seen in the sky before sunrise, and evening star when it is seen in the sky after sunset. So it is the brightest one, and before sunrise, if you see, it is known as the morning star, and when it is seen in the sky after sunset, again the same brightest star, that is known as your evening star, Venus. So it is the second planet from the Sun, brightest planet in the solar system. So Venus is known as Earth's twin sister because of its similar size and proximity to each other. So it is also known as Earth's twin because of the similar size and proximity to each other. Venus has a longer day than year, and it takes 243 days for Venus to make a rotation. So these are some interesting facts. And it has an iron core like Earth also, Venus. Rotation time is around 243 Earth days. Revolution time is around 225 Earth days. And there is no discovered moon for this planet Venus. Even Mercury doesn't have any moon so far, not yet discovered. So after this, let us move to your own planet where you live. So you know a lot of things about your planet, the living world, the terrestrial planet also it is known as, because life exists, and all domains as you discussed in the previous module are present over here. Life exists over here. So it is the third planet from the Sun. It is the largest of the terrestrial planet. So it is largest and densest among the inner planets, and the only planet with life, you can say. And rotation time of Earth, 24 days. The revolution time is around 365 Earth days. You have read about it. Right? So let us move to Mars now. You know that, look the image carefully. It looks red. So what you call it as? You can even call it as red planet. So it is known as red planet because of its color. So Mars is the fourth closest planet to the Sun. It can easily be seen from Earth. Mars is red because it is rusty. There is a lot of iron in the soil, and the air on Mars has made it turn red. Mars orbits the Sun every 687 Earth days. Motion day is about half hour longer than Earth. And in winter, the night temperature can drop as low as minus 191 degree Fahrenheit. And there are two non-satellites, moon you can say, of Mars. Let us move to Jupiter. Largest planet known for its red spot. A lot of red spots you can see here. So it is the largest planet in our solar system. Jupiter volume is large enough to contain 1,300 planets, the size of the Earth. So you can imagine how many Earths can fit under this. Around 1,300 planets, size of Earth can fit on Jupiter. So Jupiter rotates faster than only planet in the solar system. It rotates so quickly that the days are only 10 hours long. But it takes 12 years for Jupiter to complete an orbit around the Sun. And if you weigh 100 pounds on the Earth, you would weigh 264 pounds on Jupiter. So this was about the Jupiter. Now let us discuss about the Saturn. Saturn is known for its rings. Has 3 rings, bands you can say. So watch it carefully. These are the rings. So it is known for its rings around it. So even it is called a Titan, is larger than the planet Mercury. Saturn is big enough to hold more than 760 Earths. Saturn is roughly 95 times of the Earth's size. Saturn spins faster than any other planet except Jupiter. Saturn completes a rotation about every 10 in half hour. So this was about the Saturn, and there are 52 moons known so far of this planet Saturn, and Jupiter, it has 63 moons so far we have discovered. So Saturn with 52 moons are known to us. Now let us discuss about Uranus, lightest among the outer planets. So it is the lightest as compared to other outer planets. Uranus is the coldest planet in the solar system. Uranus is turned over on its side. So it is turned over on its sides. Summer on Uranus lasts one long day, that is minus 42 years. So summer on Uranus lasts one long day, that is around 42 years. So it is interesting. Uranus has 27 moons so far. And Uranus has only been visited once. And it takes Uranus 84 Earth years to go around the Sun. 84 Earth years it takes to go around the Sun. So it was interesting to know more about this Uranus. Let us now discuss about the Neptune. You know that Neptune is the coldest among the major planets. It's the coldest one. So Neptune was the first planet to be discovered only through the mathematical calculation rather than astronomical observation. It is currently the 8th planet from the Sun. It has a total of 13 moons, and from Earth it is 4.3 billion kilometers or 2.68 billion miles. And it has 13 moons, we have already discussed. So this was about the planets we have discussed. I hope you must have got more information. Try to find out more, much more you can find it out about these planets. Now let us move to asteroids. So asteroids, as we discussed earlier, apart from the stars, planets, satellites, there are numerous tiny bodies which also move around the Sun. These bodies are called asteroids. They are found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. So asteroids are the celestial bodies that revolve around the Sun between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Asteroids are smaller than any of the planets, and only a few have a diameter of about 30 kilometers. They are also called planetoids or minor planets. One asteroid called Ida has a tiny moon of its own. It is the smallest known satellite in the solar system. Ceres is the largest asteroid. Here you can see in the image, the picture, the different asteroids. The broken pieces of planets. So try to find out more about these asteroids. Let us see the 4 largest asteroids. The Ceres, as we discussed, is the largest one. Then we have the Vesta, Pallas, and Xena. Many more are there. So these 4 are the largest one. Now, meteoroids. Have you seen glowing objects streaking the night sky? Look at the picture. They are small bits of rocks and metals thrown around when a comet collides against asteroids. They pass close to the Earth. These broken rock pieces get attracted by the Earth and plunge into the atmosphere at very high speed. Look at the image carefully. Due to air resistance, they are heated and glow. These are called meteors or shooting stars also sometimes. Some of them are small and get completely burned in the Earth's atmosphere. The larger ones which survive in the heat and hit the surface of the Earth is called meteoroids. The crater of Arizona is supposed to have been formed when a really big meteor crashed into the Earth crust. So here is a picture for you of the meteor crater in Arizona, USA. So the largest meteorite ever found on the Earth fell in prehistoric time in what is now called Namibia, Southwest Africa, and it originally weighed around 100 tons. So here is a image of the Arizona crater. Try to find more facts about this crater. Look at the picture. Again, the meteoroids, meteors. So you know that the small pieces of rocks which move around the sun are called meteoroids. So these are the small pieces of rocks moving around the sun. Let us now discuss about comets also. These are very important features which you can see of many years in this graph. So comets are often described as dirty snowballs. The solid center of a comet consists of mostly of ice mixed with sooty material. The center is quite small and usually only a few kilometers across. They revolve around the sun and have very long period of evolution. When a comet approaches the sun, the vapors are forced away from the sun. Due to the light that falls on these vapors, it appears to have an illuminated long tail of gas and dust. It always points away from the sun. Example, Halley's comet returns to the Earth every 76 years. It last appeared in 1986. I have seen it. I don't know whether you have seen it or not. Most of you must not have seen it, but your parents must have seen it. So try to discuss about this comet with your parents and try to find more about these comets. So here you can see the picture of a comet. So I hope you must have understood about the comets also. Now let us have a quick look on the galaxy. It's a huge system of billions of stars and clouds, dust and gases. There are millions of such galaxies that make the universe. Do you see white's broad band like a white glowing path across the sky on clear starry night? It is a cluster of millions of stars. This band is the Milky Way galaxy, and our solar system is a part of this galaxy. From the starting there was a question, so here is the answer. So our solar system is a part of this Milky Way galaxy. This is a clear image of Milky Way galaxy. Even you can see during a clear sky during the night. Try to identify. So I hope you have understood many more facts. A revision for this chapter, the Earth in the solar system. I hope you must have enjoyed this module. Here is a simple knowledge booster for you. When was Halley's comet last seen on the Earth? And when will it be seen next? Try to find the answer. Thanks. Meet you in the next module.